Everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this series of video, we are going to see about network security important question bank with answer for module 1, and this is set 1. The subject code is 18EC821. Come, let's go into the video. Please do like, share, subscribe and comment. First question, explain the need for security and its approaches. So the first module deals with the need for security, why we need network security, what are all the different approaches and attacks in the network happening. So first question, the need for security and its approaches. Why actually we need security is it should have a particular user ID and password, and it should be authenticated by the owner of the user ID and the password. Information must not be shared to everybody. And after creating a user ID and password, each and every information must be encoded. That is, for example, if you use WhatsApp, the WhatsApp communication between one end to the other end is completely encrypted. So such kind of encryption should be taken place for any sets of information that has been shared. So this is why we need network security, and this is the diagram you can show, like how a client transfers the data to the server from the server database. So these are all the contents that has been shared. And what are the different approaches? So approaches, we need a trusted system in a particular network to trust that only a specific content of the content or data is being transferred following your security policy. That is why we need security approaches. So these are all small tips that I'm just giving. This is not the full answer. This is the tips you have to remember and write the complete answer. Moving on to the second question, demonstrate the key principles of security with diagram. So the four main key principles is confidentiality, authentication, integrity and non-repudiation. Like you will be writing the site heading confidentiality, and you can draw a diagram and explain how the client and the server maintains the confidentiality when transferring the contents. And authentication is nothing but receiving of OTP or checking whether we are not robot. All those are form of authentication. Integrity is where you are going to completely monitor that only the data sent has been received by the receiver and no data is being changed or misguided. So these are the four key principles, and there are two more principles that you can see. One is access control and availability, like how access control plays an important role, how it manages the complete overall network, and availability, whether the data that is being sent from one end to the other end is really available or not. So all those has to be monitored. This you have to write it and explain in detail. Moving on to the third question, interpret the importance of confidentiality in the principles of security with an example. So why confidentiality is much needed in principle of security? Yes. So this is your diagram. A and B is transferring a data, and you can see that is a secret data that is being shared, and C is monitoring that secure data. So here the principle of confidentiality, it is nothing but it is going to send a data only from a sender to a receiver. No, the contents cannot be accessed by anybody. That is this confidentiality, if suppose if the data or content is shared or seen by somebody, then you will tell that person as an unauthorized access or unauthorized person. So that is why if you want encrypted data, then confidentiality has to be maintained. Moving on to the fourth question, discuss about access control and how it is different from availability. So what is access control is, it is going to tell you who should access, who is the author, who has the right to access a particular database. So that is nothing but the access control. And this access control is further divided as role management and rule management. So you have to write what is role management, what is rule management. And the difference that you can see is your access control is completely managing the access that is the resources that can be accessed by the persons. But here availability is nothing but it makes sure that each and every data that has to be accessed is always available in the database. That is the difference. Next question, explain about masquerade and discuss which principle of security is breached because of that. So masquerade, what is masquerade is nothing but when an unauthorized, that is the person who is not authorized to enter a particular data or website, what he does is he pretends to be a authorized person sitting in front and chatting with you or transferring information with you or seeing the information that has been transferred. And here the masqueraded, what principle it is going to breach is, it is going to breach authentication in security. So here they are going to pretend as an authorized user. So obviously authentication, if they pretend, they are going to steal the OTP sent or the message that is sent to type, that is encrypted message, that has been, the authentication has been broken here. So that principle of security is breached by your masquerade. Moving on to the next question, illustrate about replay attack and denial of services attack with an example. So here replay attacks is nothing but, here when your user is going to see the number of events that is taking place or number of information that has been shared or resent to the server from the client, so they are keep on monitoring. So when you see, you would have heard about the bank details that has been corrupted by somebody, that you would have heard about many news like that. So this is nothing but, replay attack is nothing but capturing the data of bank transaction and remodifying it and doing something at the back. Denial of services is nothing but the user is going to attempt for accessing many of the services available. Okay, so that denial of services attack, you have many examples, like whether the particular person can attempt and access the data. If suppose if they are not, then how the denial of services is going to help them to avail the data. So this is what is denial of services and replay attacks. With an example, you can draw a diagram also and explain the examples. So hope you have understood these small tips. Please be stay tuned for more information. Thank you.